celebration for so and so. No. They're very detached from others' problems, right? So I had a coworker at one point, when I was working in the office. She was having an asthma attack, and everybody else is like, okay, let's find her pump. Is it in the car? They're trying to help, and this other coworker is like, she not dead, right? Okay, and continues to do their work, detached from other people's problems. Tend to ignore others' opinions. That same coworker actually came in with some very high yellow pants, and at the time of where I worked, that was just not acceptable. You had to keep it like khakis, blues, darker colors, and they were high yellow. So someone said something to him about it. Nobody's not, like, it was another coworker. Whatever, they can't dictate how I can dress at work. Da, 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 da. That we all told him, the manager's gonna come over here and say something about your pants. Sure enough, they didn't give a care about anybody else's opinion, and actually did not come back to work, because the manager said, oh, you can come back later on, just go home and change. Nope, didn't come back at all. And took 2 more days off of PTO because he was bad. Avoid conflicts by pushing other people away. We're talking about people with rigid boundaries, right? That particular person pushed everybody away, right? And this is the example that I'm giving. He pushed everybody away. He didn't. Oh, he really did avoid the conflict. Okay, well, that's your opinion. Okay, whatever. All right, and just again kept us at arm's length. Um, they have really very inflexible personal values. Like, this is how I am. This is how I'm going to be, and there's no wiggle room in it at all, right? They're not very adaptable, right? And then they communicate usually very aggressively. People that no, it's like this. I don't care. Da, 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 da. We're talking about rigid boundaries, right? Okay, let's talk about porous boundaries. Porous, when you think about something that has pores in them, right? Your skin has pores. So listen, let's almost anyone get close to them. So someone that has porous boundaries, you haven't heard of people say you never met a stranger. Well, not everybody that never met a stranger is porous. However, I've seen people that never meet a stranger and everybody leeches onto them. They allow everybody to leech on them. They have a slew of friends. They're very overly trusting of others and even strangers, right? So that's why they never meet a stranger, right? Because everybody can be my friend. Everybody can. Come on. Overshares personal information. Oh my God. You will find out the name of their dog, their cat, Grandma Susie's Aunt Betty, who went and cheated on Uncle George with Uncle Henry, and the code to my door. My PIN number is, yeah. Has difficulty saying no to others. You will also find that they are people pleasers, right? So they won't say no. Can you borrow my car? Sure. Can I borrow $500? Sure. Can you pay for my funeral? Sure. Like, that's the type of person with porous boundaries, right? They are overly, and I do mean overly, involved in other people's problems. I'm talking about, is Susie's boyfriend and her having troubles, and instead of just giving Susie some advice, you over here talking to the boyfriend, telling him about himself and how Susie feels, and advocating for Susie instead of Susie advocating for herself, right? They also avoid conflict by giving in to others, right? So they might be those super protective people and overly involved, but they will also give in. So same example with Susie's boyfriend. Well, I treat Susie right. Stay out of it. Oh, okay, all right. They are very quick to adopt to other people's opinions. Well, let me tell you. And now he owns Susie's boyfriend's side, because Susie's boyfriend then advocated for himself, and now he didn't even help Susie at all, right? does not assert personal values, right? It flip-flops, right? Flip-flops all over the place. 1 minute I am all for human rights, right? And the next minute, no, I'm not for human rights because because Joe Biden said I shouldn't be that. Okay, let's not get into politics today. Communicates passionately. People with porous boundaries usually they're so, y'all know I'm animated, right? I don't have porous boundaries, but they are overly passionate. Like, I'm gonna fight for this, and you shouldn't be doing that. But then remember, they also avoid conflict. So it's a catch-22 with how passionate they get about certain things, but then they're gonna back off real quickly, right? Because they're gonna flip flop. Okay, that's porous boundaries. Healthy boundaries, y'all. So someone that has healthy boundaries, they're going to be very selective about whom they let in and keep out, right? So it's in between that porous and that rigid, right? They keep some people at a distance. They let you know certain things, but then you are able to get close to them if you are, someone that they should be getting close to. But they take time to build the trust with others. It is not 2 second and we are besties type deal, but it's also not I'm gonna keep you hands off distance. It's like a gradual progression, right? Of someone becoming close to them. They share personal information appropriately. Sharing to your best friend that I'm having troubles with my boyfriend is appropriate, right? Sharing to a stranger that might not be appropriate, right? Just certain things. I have cancer. Maybe that's not appropriate to your coworker, but it would be appropriate to, maybe your manager, because you need to tell them and let them know that you're going to be doctor's visits. Those are healthy boundaries, right? They have the ability to say no when needed. Can you buy my child's school supplies for me? It's gonna cost $500. Well, all I have is $500 in the bank, and rent is due today. No, I cannot. Here's the difference. Healthy boundary. Can you buy my child's school supplies and you're close to me and I know you have no money, but I have $5 million in the bank? Sure. That's a healthy boundary, right? Supports others without being too involved. Here, same scenario. I don't have the money to buy my child's school supplies, right? But I didn't ask for a whole bunch of details of what's going on. I just know that the kid needs to be supported, and I can go to the store and buy those supplies for you and deliver those to you. That's getting involved, but not too involved, right? Values both own and others' opinion. I don't think that you should be in this relationship. And here's A, B, C, D, and E, right? You asked for my opinion. I'm going to give that to you. And then when you come back with a rebuttal, okay, I can understand and I can see why you might say that. It's a balance. You value both your opinion and other opinions. Accept conflict as a normal part of life. Everybody has conflict, and conflict helps you grow in relationships, because what does it do? It teaches you the wisdom. It teaches you what you don't want, what you do want, right? It teaches you how to react in certain situations and grow those skills that you need in order to have conflict management, right? And get along cohesively with other people that also have healthy boundaries, right? And know yourself, right? You If you have healthy boundaries, you are also going to stand by personal values but can adapt, right? I can think of one thing in my life that I had to adapt to, right? I wanted 6 kids. That was my personal value. The more, the merrier, right? But what did God bless me with? 1, and I adapted to that. If I have another one at the ripe age of 42, then I will adapt to that too. However, I had to adjust my thinking, right? I can remember growing up as a Democrat and then listening to Republican views and seeing that there is a balance between the Democrat and the Republican, and then changing my views on certain things to be Democratic or Republican and voting for the person that I felt would best run the country, right? So it's adapting your personal views. Communicates assertively. Now, this person is not communicating aggressively. They're not communicating passionately, but they can be passionate at times. They can be aggressive at times, but they are assertive, right? No, you will not take my purse and go down the street and buy a whole bunch of things. No, you will not. No, you cannot get on my calendar tonight at 6 o'clock, and you were supposed to be on my calendar yesterday at 6 o'clock. No, um, and it's 4:34, right? Those are those type of things where we have healthy boundaries. Is there flexibility in healthy boundaries? Absolutely. But again, it goes from porous to rigid, and there's a balance there, and knowing what that balance is for you. And you might not be all the way in every category, in every relationship, right? But if you figure out what you can and cannot be healthy in each category, then you figure those things out and you assess those things, right? So guys, I'm way over my time, but you see I was passionate about this topic, right? So anyways, listen, like, share, ring that bell so that you can come back and find out about more mental health tips, more relationship tips, and everything, sex education, all of those things, right? Have a wonderful, wonderful Thursday.